Oh my god, look at this beautiful box. I think this has to be the prettiest box I've ever received ever in my life. This is gorgeous. Look at that. It's beautiful. This is so celestial. I love it. I am once again doing another haul slash collab with Stationery Pal, and I've got a ton of stuff in here which I have never tried before. I really went and scoured their website this time trying to find all the cool, unique stuff that I just haven't gotten to try yet, and I'm going to be experimenting with a bunch of really cool stuff today. So let's see what's inside. Ooh, they have new packaging, new wrapping, a new sticker. It used to be light pink heart bubble wrap, but now it's dark pink, and it is very pretty. Oh, look at the inside of the box. This has got to be my favorite packaging ever. It's so pretty. Look at all the moons and the suns and the font. It's so pretty. All right. Ooh, we got some new freebies today. Look at this. We've got a little bell. I think my cat who's in here right now is going to adore this. We once again have a little thank you note. And then let's see, we have got another little My Melody pin. I have so many of these now and I never get tired of them. She is adorable. We've got two little pencil toppers that are the little knitted beanies, and we've got another little rubber duck to join the collection. So cute. We have another one of the classic little teddy bears. Oh, we got another one. We have another one of the little beanies. I believe that was all the freebies. So now it's time to get all of this stuff out of here and look at all the stuff that we got today. And we have got a crammed box. We have got so much stuff in here today. I think something fell. Something's stuck in the packaging. Oh my goodness, it's another little astronaut. I got one of these guys in my last Stationery Pal collab. They're so cute. I adore them. We have got confetti everywhere. Okay, let us see what's all in here. We have got so much stuff, and I honestly have forgotten some of the things that I decided to get. So this is a little bit of a surprise for me. Starting off, we have a ton of midliners. We have 5 midliners here, 5 different colors. We got 2 beige colors, a green, a blue, and a red. Super cute, nice color range. We have got a super cute My Melody mechanical pencil, which is matching my Kuromi one. I love this style so much, and the My Melody one is a perfect partner for it. I am super excited about these. I love working with stamps, and I love working with things that are flowers and natural things, so this set of these flower stamps is going to be super fun to try and work with. I have a stamp that is of another type of flower slash leaf that I got from Stationery Pal last time that I think is beautiful, so I'm excited to see how these are going to look. I got a couple more stamp washi tapes because I have one that's a cafe style and a plant style, and they are some of my favorite washi tapes that I have, so I got these 2 sets as well. This one is more of a bunny fairy tale set, and this one is a pink flower set. I of course got myself another Snoopy pen because you know me, I've gotten a Snoopy pen every single time. I love me this little Snoopy pen so much, and I could not go without it. I keep running out of them because I use them way too much, and I love this Snoopy pen. Not a new one for me, but I'm so happy to have it back. One that is new for me is this Uni Ball pen. It's a little bit smaller of a pen, but I like to work with smaller handled things, so I thought this would be super fun to try out. It's a super cute coffee brown color, and I can't wait to see what it looks like once I use it. I also love the brand Uni. They are amazing. I use the Uni Ball Signos all of the time, so I thought why not try another one of their products. This also has a nice little clip attachment that can extend a little bit, so if I need to attach it to something thick, it won't fall off this time. Ooh, here's another one of the big exciting things for me. There is a Snoopy ballpoint pen. This one is beautiful. The metallic blue chrome look on it is gorgeous. I'm so excited to try it, and it's got Snoopy and Woodstock on it. I love it. Another thing that they had that I thought was super cool that I've never tried out is these clear sticky notes. I think clear sticky notes could be really cool to try doing studies with if I want to try tracing something or doing a little bit of a reference study. I think these will be really nice to put in my sketchbook to do studies, draw over things. It's just a really cool thing that I've never tried before that I think would be really interesting to play around with. And because I love bullet journaling so much, I got some more packs of stickers, these mushroom ones, these flower ones, and these tabs. Also picked up this adorable pink washi tape. Then as someone who does a lot of admin and office work for my art business, I needed more clips and utensils and things like that, so I have 2 sets of just general office clips, pins, and supplies here. These ones are rose gold and these ones are baby pink. And I saved this one for last because it's the one that I have been wanting to try for the longest time. These are the Gansai Tambi Starry colors. They are metallic. These are from Kuretake, and they are a brand that I've been wanting to try for ages. I have seen so many artists use these beautiful metallic paints before, and I've never gotten to try them. But now I finally have them in my hands, and I cannot wait to make a whole watercolor painting with these metallic. It looks so gorgeous, and I can't wait to try them. So we got a bunch of bigger items this time, and that was everything that was in the box. A little bit less than last time, but I think it is well worth it. Now, I cannot wait to show you everything that I'm going to be making and doing using these, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on them, since these are a lot of things that I've never tried before and things that I've been really wanting to try for a very long time. So now we're going to jump over to working on stuff with all of these stationery products. Okay, so the big thing that I am doing today is using these clips to help pin down all of my prototypes for my stationery designs with my succulent art on them. Right now I have 3 different versions of memo pads, one that's lined, one that's grids, and one that's a checklist. I also have this sticky note design, but as you can see, it's not put together yet, it's just the sheets of paper. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be attaching this piece of nice thick, not exactly cardboard, but firmer material at the back. Then I'm going to be using double-sided tape to make sure all of these have a little bit of stick to them. I'm going to be using the clips to clamp all of the pages down as I use the Mod Podge to seal all of the edges. This is the first time I've ever made stationery, so this is going to be very new and interesting and different for me. So I will be making a full video tutorial on how I make my memo pads in more detail at a later time, but you can see here just me going through the early stages of building these memo pads, clipping them down using the clips, and then I went in and added the Mod Podge. It's a pretty simple process to make the memo pads. You just lightly apply 1 layer of Mod Podge to each of the memo pads, let that layer dry, and then you just keep adding on more and more layers until you feel like it's strong enough. For me, I use 3 to 5 layers, and if you're working with tons and tons of memo pads, you're trying to build a whole bunch in one sitting. Honestly, if you start with one and then do a whole bunch, your first one will probably be dry by the time you're done, so you can just go in a continuous line of adding more and more layers until you're done. It's pretty easy to do, and the supplies are not that expensive. They're pretty affordable, pretty cheap. It just takes time to do cutting mostly, but these clips worked really well. They were basically the perfect size. The Mod Podge didn't really get stuck to them. It was very easy to clip them and unclip them. They didn't damage the paper. I have had some issues with clamps in the past destroying paper, but these didn't damage it at all, so I'm very, very happy with them. Okay, these are all dry now. They're all ready to go, and they are pretty solid. I feel like this first one was probably the best run out of all of them. Here we got all 45 pages all together. It's looking very, very nice, and it's solid. Look at that. It's holding on nice and strong, and these clips were amazing. They worked really, really well. These are very strong, very durable clips. They worked excellently for all 3 of these. Yeah, these are all looking good and ready to go, so I now have these as my first run samples. However, the memo pads are looking beautiful, and the clips were perfect. The clips worked for both of them. The clips also worked beautifully for the sticky notes. I am definitely going to be constantly using these to make more memo pads because they worked beautifully and the memo pads look awesome. So these are definitely a huge success for me in both sizes. I used mostly the larger ones, however the smaller ones are also working quite well too. Both of them are really strong and very durable. Yeah, these look great, so I'm very, very happy with how they turned out. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to be working on is I'm going to be making a couple more sets of earrings. And what I'm going to be doing is I want to use these stamps to then stamp ink onto my baked clay. Once I'm done making the earrings and baking them, I'm going to use these new stamps and I'm going to stamp these beautiful flowers onto them and then coat them in a little thin layer of Mod Podge just to keep them secure. I'm excited to see how these look on the earrings. Though first things first, I do have to get them made. I'm also going to be using the tacks from here to poke the earring holes so I can put the hooks through. here are the earrings with the holes already punched into them, and the tack worked perfectly. It worked really, really well. Got very nice, small, nice little holes for the earrings. I have a couple different shapes I'm going to be playing with here, so I think I want to do the potion bottles on these little stamp ones. I want to do some of the flowers on these ones. I'm going to do a couple on the arches and a couple on these longer slabs. I'm going to have to bake these at a later time, so this is a project I will be getting back to later. Okay, so as you can see, I've started working on doing the stamps for the earrings here, and the one main thing that I noticed immediately was that it's really, really hard to get the exact right amount of ink that you need for these stamps. It is a little difficult because these take up a lot of ink, so you have to apply it kind of lightly. You can't have too thick of a layer of ink down there or else it's going to apply wrong. So you can see I did a lot of dabbing on the side on this piece of palette paper that I had to try to make sure that the textures were all correct as I was trying to do my stamping. The first one went a little rough. Slowly I got more and more of a grasp on how much ink to apply, how much to dab before I started applying them, how to be more careful with it, how to apply them in a way that looked nice. It took quite a bit of testing, but these flower ones that I ended up making turned out very pretty. I really like them. I'm very happy with them. I really like these flower stamps, and I think they would look gorgeous as patterns on clay, on more earrings. I especially love the way they look on the stamps. Overall, the stamps work really well. It just depends on how much ink you want to apply. The next thing that I did was I used both of the pens that I got to do some sketches for my mermaid art, which you're about to see me make, because I was doing a different pose in the original one and I wanted to do something different, and I wasn't totally sure what sort of composition I wanted, other than I wanted the mermaids to be in a somewhat circular shape. So I played around with a ton of different ideas and eventually came up with something that I really liked, and these pens were super juicy and really nice to work with, especially for sketching. Okay, the earrings have been complete, and now it's time to test the supplies I've been wanting to use for a long time, which is of course the metallic watercolor set. This is a reimagined 2023 version of my piece The Twins, which is of two mermaids based off of the twin zodiac. Again, I drew them in 2019 for Mermaid, and it is after May now. It is currently June, but I decided I wanted to bring back this piece, redraw it, update some of the characters, and paint it all again with these watercolor paints. So let's get them open, get this tape down, and we're gonna start painting. Oh, they're so pretty. They are gorgeous. Those are beautiful looking paints. Okay, so let's get to my thoughts on these metallic watercolor paints. First off, I do really like them. However, I don't think I was using them in quite the right way. I was hoping that these would be opaque enough for me to just use as standalone watercolor paints. However, they are not. These paints are extremely transparent, and they really would work best if you're doing them on top of previous layers, because that's really what they're best for, is going on top of something to add extra sparkle. Don't really work well if you're trying to build up layers by themselves. So I started just blending them with other watercolors that I have, with my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolors, and that ended up working a lot better. I started getting a lot more solid colors. It's also very hard to blend these out, I noticed. The pigment just does not want to move as much, which is again why I would rather put them on top of previous layers to give them a little bit of added sparkle rather than using them as a base layer. I managed to make them work well enough for this though when blending them with my other watercolors. I also had to go over all of the line art again because I did the line art digitally and then I printed it and then painted it, and I did have to go over all of the line art again because it may just be the ink, maybe it was the paper, maybe it was the paint, I'm not sure. But the ink, when I did the line art digitally, it started bleeding a little bit, and when I did the paint, the glitter stuck over the line art and you could very clearly tell that it had dried on top of it, so I did have to go in again and add the line art all over again another time. If I was using these as a top coat instead of trying to paint the entire thing with these, it would have worked a lot better, but again, it did work really well when blending them with my Winsor & Newton Cotman colors. It was also a little hard to tell sometimes just how much paint I actually had on my brush when I was using them because they are so transparent. Sometimes it would look extremely thick, sometimes it wouldn't. But once I got the paints starting to work, it ended up working just fine. It is just a little hard to tell how much paint is actually on your brush. You'd have to be a little bit careful. In the end, I really just think that these work best as a top coat rather than blending them like I did here, and definitely don't use them as their own paint, use them as a top coat. I feel like that's how they're intended to be used and how they should be used, so in the future that is how I will be using them. Other than that, they are pretty solid paints. Transparent, but they work great as a top coat to give a little bit of extra sparkle. Okay, here is the finished version of the painting of the twins mermaids. These paints are really nice to work with and I like them quite a lot. My only complaint is how transparent they are. You do have to mix them with other watercolors if you want them to work super well, but with tons of layering and a lot of time I was able to come out with this, which I do really like the end result of. And again, these paints are really nice to work with. They give the paint and the overall illustration a very glittery, shiny feel to it that I really like. It adds little sparkly details that I personally really enjoy. So these paints are a win for me. I really like them. Alrighty, the last thing I'm doing for today's video is I'm doing my weekly bullet journal spread because I cannot function without a list of to-dos, everything that I'm doing throughout the week, and general checklists to help keep my life in order. So you can see that I used some stickers from the sticker packs that I got, as well as some stickers from other packs, and the bullet journal itself is also from Stationery Pal. So Stationery Pal has been huge in helping me along with my bullet journal journey, and I also used the washi tapes that I got, and I just planned out my entire week in this bullet journal spread. All of these stickers and supplies have lasted me a really long time, so I personally love using them for my bullet journaling stuff. The last thing I wanted to do was let you guys all know about all the amazing sales that are happening during this month of June over at Stationery Pal. There's a buy one get one free sale, daily flash sales, 50% off digital products, 15% off select items, or you can even get up to 40 to 50% off select items if you enter the codes that are on the screen and all the pictures that I'm showing right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined, or be sure to check out Stationery Pal if you want to get your hands on some really cute and cool stationery like this. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye everybody.